Hello, how are you guys doing? I hope that you guys are having a great afternoon, going into evening, depending on where you are. Just want to talk to you a little bit about just some things that y'all had to remind me of. These are things that I had already known by way of the Ruach, but he had to remind me of these things. And it's always good when the Ruach, when y'all can remind us of things that sometimes we may forget, you know. In terms of when I was going to church, let me preface this with, I don't know, this sort of a spiritual disclaimer or explanation, or maybe a little bit of backstory for people who aren't aware of my testimony. I came out of the church. I've kind of had a distant relationship, if you will, with the church. Based upon a revelation I believe that the Ruach gave me years ago. I'm talking about way before the pandemic, way before we were all quarantined, and all of the churches were shut down years ago. Yah gave me, I call it a revelation, that the true church is going to come out of the buildings. That the true church is not going to sit down on their laurels in the building, but the true church, the ecclesia, the called out ones, the chosen ones, they're going to be the ones that Yah is going to use in the last days, and it's not going to be in the building, because everything that I saw when I was in the building, and I've been in ministry before, okay, I attended the Potter's House School of Ministry, not to name drop. Potter's House, pastored by none other than the Bishop Thomas Dexter Jakes, okay? And this is not an indictment against T.D. Jakes or Potter's House or really any church. It's just that when the Spirit of the living, when the Ruach calls you out and tells you do something, then it doesn't matter whose name is in it, on it, who's involved with it. He calls you out, which is isn't that what the ecclesia is? The called out ones. So anyway, I had that revelation years ago, okay? And it's just something that never left me. Even when I did, I went back a few times, 2-3 times maybe. Each of those times in different time frames or ranges. Anywhere from 6 months to a year each time, if that. And it's just something that I've noticed. I went through some things where, and this is not just one church, this is just in general, where the people were struggling, but the leadership was doing incredibly well, okay? And it wasn't something that I really thought about or dwelt on, because I was just, I'm here to hear from the Lord, and I just love the Lord, and I won't take nothing from my journey now. So I wasn't really paying attention to that until later on in life when, it became like a reality for me that, hey, you need to start paying attention to these things. And that was the Ruach trying to show me some things, but I was not paying attention. I was not listening, because we want to believe, or maybe I want to believe the best about everybody and everything. Contrary to the tone you may get from my post on social media, I really give people the benefit of the doubt. I do give people much grace, much more grace than they ever gave me. But I'm not here to complain about it. It's just that's my nature. Okay. And so anyway, once you go from one house to the other house to yet another house, and you notice that not only are you doing worse off than the leadership, But then when it seems like you're getting a little something, that the leadership starts to have a problem with you getting a little something. It's like I really felt in my spirit that the leadership felt more comfortable with the people struggling. I'm talking about physically, financially struggling. I mean, not being able to pay your bills, not being able to buy food, not being able to pay basic utilities and basic living expenses. I feel like a lot of these ministers, these leaders in these churches, for some reason, they find it, I don't know what the reason is. I'm not going to sit here and try to guess or disclose even why I feel that they felt that way. And I picked up that spirit of jealousy and envy from them. So it was just weird because like no matter how I get blessed in increments, I'm still not going to be at the level that you are. So why am I picking this up from you? Where is this coming from? This doesn't make any sense. You ought to be happy for me getting a job, paying more money so that I can take care of my kids. And I don't have to come to the church and ask you to help me pay my bills. I could pay more tithes and offering. Well, go figure. And you would think that, and I did think that. I'm like, this is a blessing, right? The more that Yah blessed me, and trust me, he did, while I was going to these churches, the more warfare I went through. And when I say, I can tell, it's something that it's a discernment that I've picked up in my latter years. It's not something I've always had, but I can tell where my warfare is coming from. It's like the Ruach has fine-tuned that gift in me. It used to be that I'd just be fighting the air when I'm in warfare, and I didn't know who I was fighting, and I didn't know who was sending blows my way, and who was throwing javelins at me in the spirit. I didn't know back then, but I know who it is now. And I promise you'd be like, no, not them, huh? Really? Wow. Why they throwing javelins at me? What I did you? But anyway, that was my New Orleans come out. Yeah, from the 504. But anyway, you're going to come across certain ministries that do not want you to succeed. They teach and preach prosperity. They boast and brag from the pulpit about being prosperous and being successful and yeah, all of that. But once Yah starts promoting you and prospering you and blessing you, they will fight against it. And they try to keep that prosperity locked into only the inner circle or the leadership. And I don't understand why. Why would you just want the leadership circle to be prosperous? I don't understand that. You're going to get more tithes if the people are prosperous, huh? They won't have to come to you and ask for help with their utilities or food or housing or whatever because they're being blessed. Yah's providing their needs, and they're in their faith of the average believer in the pew. I hate to say average because there's no hierarchy in the kingdom of Yah, but you understand what I'm saying. The people in the pew need to have great faith too, and they need their faith encouraged. They need to see Yah move for them. Just like, if not more, than they move for the pastor or the ministers or the ministerial alliance or the staff. Excuse me, not hating, but come on. The people in the pew got 5 and 6 and 8 kids. So they need that. And when they get that blessing, faith upon faith, faith to faith, glory to glory. And once Yah keeps blessing them and increasing them, and providing for them and favoring them, the more warfare comes. Now people say, well, how do you know that's coming from leadership? I told you that I have that gift, okay? I know where it's coming from. So everybody's not going to have that level of discernment. You pray and ask Yah to give you discernment. People be praying for discernment, and then when Yah give you the discernment, you be mad and talking about that's the devil. No, that's not the devil. You pray for discernment. So Yah is going to open up your eyes. He's going to open up your understanding. And he's going to lead you into wanting more of his word straight from the script, straight from the Holy Writ. I couldn't say that. That's a tongue twister, ain't it? But yeah, he's going to lead you to wanting to read his word and study his word more on your own, not necessarily rely upon a YouTube video and this one and that one and that, they serve their purpose. But baby, the best things, the most powerful revelations and truths that the Ruach is going to reveal to you is going to be when you seek Yah for yourself. You crack open that word, whether it's on BibleGateway.com or whether it's a physical Bible and a Strong's Concordance, and you get in the face of Yah, say, Yah, please show me what I need to know. Those are the most powerful revelations. Those are the most powerful teachings that the Ruach will give you. And the most memorable. And I'm telling you, please, don't be upset when Yah shows you certain things, when you pray for some understanding. People that you've trusted and loved for years, decades, we are in the apocalypse. The apocalypse is just another fancy word for the unveiling. There have been a lot of people that's been in our lives for many, many years, decades, and the Ruach is unveiling them because they've been shielded, they've been veiled. It is going to be hard and rough because you're going to be like, I love these people, I trusted these people. I thought they were for me. But the Ruach had to show you on his own, because if somebody came to you and said, yo, you need to watch that one, that's a snake. You see that over there? That's not your friend. I know that's your blood, but here's the deal on that one. I know you call that one your pastor, your prophet, your apostle, but you didn't see that javelin they hiding behind their back. Come here, let me show you from another angle. They got a javelin behind their back. The Ruach is going to show you some things, and it's not going to be easy. And some of it's going to make you real sad, especially if these are ties that you've had for many, many, many years. Just living in a time where, people are betraying one another. People's true motives and agendas are coming out. The feigns are coming out. And a lot of this is going to come from people who we revered as leaders. A lot of y'all so-called spiritual parents, mothers and fathers, y'all know that stuff y'all been teaching and pushing for years. Y'all about to find out they got javelins. And the reason why you have not progressed or grown to the next level in Yah is because of your spiritual parents. You need to watch. Watch and pray. For real. Because Yah will show you some things if you want to be shown it. Yep. He sure will. And that's one way. That's one thing he'll show you. You got people that don't want to see you prosper. Don't want to see you doing better than them. You need to ask, what's up with that? Something's up with that. Now I'm going to go, because I was supposed to keep this under 10 minutes, but You know how it is sometimes. Sometimes Yah will show you other things and he'll speak to you about other things and you just want to be like, hey, I gotta put that in there too. Now y'all have a safe Sunday. Be blessed and be healthy. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Bye, babies.